In the last tutorial, we went over how to link our Python code to our Flask website using render template and make it actually do the math that we wanted to do on that website. For this next one, I'm going to show how we can actually add CSS code to that HTML website and make it so it shows all of the design elements that you wanted to have on each one of those pages. So we need a templates folder for our HTML code. Anything that is a static file, such as CSS or JavaScript, we're going to have to create another folder for that part of it. So I'm going to create a second folder, and that folder is going to be called static. Okay? Static is going to hold any CSS or JavaScript files that I want. In this case, I'm just doing CSS, so I'm going to call it style.css. I am just going to do a couple basic things for this. I'm going to change the way my buttons look. So let's create a button class, which you might remember was referred to in one of the HTML files. You can give it any color you want. So let's say Alice Blue. You can choose any color. Background color is going to be the background for that button. So let's do dark blue so we can see the other one. And then let's make it a little bit of a round button. So it's going to say border radius 25px. Okay, and I also want to change the general page a little bit. So let's change the body. And let's do blanched almond. Why not? And let's align it so that everything's in the center. Okay, now I'm going to change the paragraph style. So let's say color dark blue and font family fantasy. I like font family. And then inputs. So for each of our inputs, I want it to have the same font family, so it kind of matches. So, all right. So I added a couple CSS features to some of the elements, but not all of them. We still need to remember to add this to our index.html and our calculation.html files. So we do that in the head of each of those. And so after title, I'm going to add the style sheet. So link rel equals style sheet. And href is going to tell me where to find the style sheet. So since we had to put it in the static folder, it's going to be static/style.css. Okay, and then now I'm just going to copy and paste this and put the same exact thing into my other folder. Okay, and if maybe I wanted to turn this into a button, I can also do that as well. So here, and then move this over to the end. All right, let's see what happens now. All right, so now let's go ahead and go back to the main.py folder to make sure this is all running properly and see what it looks like. So now I'm going to run my Flask. Okay, this opened the development server, so I can go back to this website that I had before. And you can see it did work. It now has those design elements. It changed the way the button looked. It changed all the text. I can check in here to make sure everything's working properly. And then on the next page, it also did it to the button on that page. So it did correctly format everything. All right, so that is how you add CSS to your page. The main thing that you want to remember is that it needs to be in a folder called static. If it's not in a static folder, which is in the main directory, it will not run properly. So just some things to keep in mind, and that is all I have for you now.